Well, good morning. Welcome to Las Vegas today. Heading into the office, going to hang out with Chris Voss, FBI's top negotiator. Learn a bunch about negotiation and also learn about how maybe me and him can partner on a few things and get some stuff happening. You know, always part of being an entrepreneur is always looking for deals, always looking for opportunities, always looking for ways to make stuff happen, I guess, is probably the simplest thing. And, you know, my definition of an entrepreneur is someone who takes an idea and turns it into a profitable enterprise that works without them. And too often, though, we think entrepreneurship or business ownership is about being busy. The game of a business owner is to make sure the company's busy, but not you. So you got the time to think and the time to prepare. So I'm just going to sit and brainstorm with Chris for a day. So it made me think about being an entrepreneur and what are the top traits of an entrepreneur. So let's get through to the top 10 of them. These are the things I think if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur that you're going to want to study or learn or get good at, so that you can make sure that your company is a success and the people around you are successful and so on. Anyway, top 10 things that make an entrepreneur successful. Number 1, communication. You got to be good at communication, and that's both listening and speaking. It's not just speaking, it's listening and speaking. Active listening is the ability to listen with the desire to understand, not listening with the desire to respond. Too many people want to respond. They're waiting for you to end your bit so they can say their bit rather than waiting for you to end and then ask you another question. So remember, questions are a key to communication, understanding other people. Communicating is also about learning their language, and that's, you know, part of the modalities of visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, part of NLP and studying that. I think if you're going to be a great entrepreneur, you got to be able to give a speech, and you got to be able to inspire and motivate people using your words. So make sure that's a part of the skill set that you make a list of. Because see, remember, business doesn't get easier, you get better at business. So the more you study, the easier business gets for you. Second key skill of an entrepreneur, sales. Oh my goodness, if I was no good at sales, I would never have succeeded as an entrepreneur. Selling people to work for you, selling people on the concept of joining your company, selling customers to join your business, to buy from you, selling basically anything and everything. You know, sales is really the ability to professionally help people buy. So how are you professionally working with people to get them to purchase from you? And again, you got to get good at these things. You can't expect to, I'll just hire someone who's good at it. That doesn't work either. You got to make sure that you are good at it, at least good enough so that when you meet a salesperson, you know if they're any good or not. You can interview them well. Third key skill, marketing. You want to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to be a marketer. And in this day and age, does that mean social? Does that mean online? Absolutely. You know, remember though, marketing is slowly dying, okay? Testimonials, ratings is what's winning the war. So make sure you even go and check out your Google rating today or your Facebook rating. Make sure you know what your ratings are on all of the apps and all of the rating scales out there in the marketplace. You know, but being a great marketer, remember, sales is about going to the market. Marketing is about making the market come to you. Sales is about one sale at a time. Marketing is about 100 sales at a time. So get good at getting the market to come to you, not just you going to the marketplace. I might do a drive time on marketing in the next couple of days. Key skill number 4, recruiting. The job of any great CEO, of any great entrepreneur, is to hire great people. You know, hire good, train great, hire good, mentor them to become great. There's no way in the world you succeed in this world in business without great team members. So you got to be on the hunt. You've always got to be looking for great people. Be a great recruiter. Hire the best of the best. Remember, hiring people, remember this one simple fact. Most of the great people already have a job. You're not advertising for people who don't have a job. You're looking for people who already have a job and want to be a success even more. So you got to get good at the marketing so that you can get good at the recruiting. So that's an important part. Number 5, management. Actually, I'll do a video in a couple of days on management versus leadership, but management is that day-to-day skill. Management's about creating competent, productive people. So you're gonna, as a manager, you're gonna have to measure their results. Yes, sometimes you gotta micromanage people. If they're not competent, if they're not skilled yet, you gotta micromanage and micro-mentor and coach and train those people. Build your people. That's the job of the manager. Key skill number 6, though, is where we go to leadership. Leadership's about their hearts, okay? Leadership's about inspiring them and making sure that they love their job. So, in fact, 2 things that leadership is passion and direction. You got to have passionate, focused people. If you got passionate, focused people, you know you're doing a good job at leadership. Leaders have got to give the direction, set the goal, know where we're going. Hard to kick a goal if you don't know where they are, team. Number 7 key skill of an entrepreneur, money. You got to know how to manage money. You got to be good with money. You got to be good at managing it, keeping it, building it, investing it. You know, you got to reinvest back into your business, reinvest back into your staff, reinvest back into the company. So you got to be good at knowing how much money you got and where the money is, when it's coming in, what's happening, all that sort of stuff. You want to be a great entrepreneur. The faster your business grows, the more intelligent you have to be with money. The more the skill of money becomes important. Cash flow is a big killer for a lot of growth businesses, so keep on top of your money. Number 8 key skill of an entrepreneur, relationships. You want to be a great entrepreneur, you got to build a long-term business. Long-term business, guess what it comes from? Relationships. Relationships with team members, relationships with suppliers, with customers, all of the relationships that you got to build. So get good at relationships if you want to be a great entrepreneur. Study relationships, study people, study human nature, study behavior. Communication again falls into this whole relationship thing. Recruiting falls into the whole relationship thing. Number 9, planning. In the beginning of small business, it's not really that important to plan. Why? Because everything's in your head, because there's only one person in the company. Now, as the business gets bigger, as you grow, planning becomes more and more important. And planning is the key skill. Now, what's the most important plan? The 1-day plan, getting the daily plan down, then the weekly plan, then get to a monthly, then a quarterly, then an annual. I'm not talking about a 3 to 5 year plan here in the beginning. I'm talking about just plan tomorrow. Set the goal for tomorrow, write the list of the 10, 20 things you got to do tomorrow, prioritize those things into what's the A's, B's, and C's. Not hard, but planning, key skill. The bigger the business, the bigger the plan, the more time needs to be invested in planning and sitting around and brainstorming so your team is part of the whole process. Final key skill of a great entrepreneur is what you're doing right now, learning. Learning is the key skill of a great entrepreneur. If you read up about any of the greatest entrepreneurs, or you listen to any interviews with great entrepreneurs, one thing they always say they're doing is reading and learning. So keep learning, keep growing. This is Drive Time for today. G'day from Vegas. Hope you have a great day. Look forward to chatting again tomorrow. Bye for now.